number of affected countries has tripled.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Cases are up.
More than 30 states and Puerto Rico reporting cases on the rise.
Possible second wave.
Going global, 60 million plus cases.
Donald Trump
tested positive for the coronavirus.
Right now, I think it's under control.
In 2020, it was a shit show. Interest rates were tanking, schools were completely closed, the markets were all down, and we were all in our underwear at home, wondering what the heck to do with ourselves. We are a business that thrives on being in person, both as a team and in front of our clients. When the going gets tough, we get tougher. And as we all sit here today, I think it's worth taking a moment to acknowledge that we made it out on top. Suffice it to say, we didn't make it here on our own. It was our very own perfect storm as the wheel of opportunity was in motion and expanding. We added additional partnerships like Quantum and Annexus. It was the first time Quantum partnered with an LOA. We were foreign to each other, like the feeling you have when going on a blind date. But then the anxiety hits. You forget to wear your socks.
Hey guys, Kyle Pesh here with Quantum. We are Appreciation Financial's premier distribution partner for both life insurance and annuities. March of 2020, of all times, to start a new business partnership. And as we were talking with Ashley, the conversations over the phone really made sense for us to meet. But as everyone knows, in March of 2020, the entire world essentially shut down. The phone rings, it's Ashley and Terry saying, "Hey Kyle, we'd love to come see you next week. How about that?" And we said, absolutely. We'll wear our masks. We'll make sure everything's been Lysoled. Come on down to the office. We'll make sure we're 6 feet apart, and let's meet and let's see what we can do to get to know each other. So just like that, through COVID, Ashley and Terry came down to Scottsdale, came to our office, took the tour, met with everyone, and then we sat down and jumped right in. And it was somewhat love at first sight. I can say over the past 15 years in my position, watching the success of 99% of the agents, it's the one that have been stressed out. It's the ones that have had sleepless nights wondering, am I not good at this? Ultimately, and I'll leave everyone with this personally and professionally, but I truly believe if you're not evolving every single day in some capacity, you're falling behind your competition.
Don't worry, NLG. We didn't forget about you, our day one. Just like any marriage, at some point, even the sound of your spouse breathing pisses you off. But we stay loyal to those we love.
Don't worry, we still love you too.
All's fair in love and business, right? Yet, we still had another hurdle to overcome, TPAs. COVID was threatening our income. The world was shutting down, and Brock and I had just returned from a ski trip in Colorado.
So the new way of doing business is a massive departure from the old way. A traditional third-party administrator only does compliance for the most part and doesn't really take control of the plan for the employees or for the employer. Essentially, they just kind of report back the data. And what Terry wanted to do was really take control of the plan and facilitate the conversation between an advisor or an agent and the participants in the plan or the employees of the employer. So what we're able to do is go in, and as we take control of the compliance of the plan, we also put an education program into place where they can, the employees can request an appointment with an advisor through the third-party administrator, where we've vetted and we understand who's working in those schools and on those campuses to increase participation. And what we've seen is a dramatic increase in the employees' participation.
And thanks to para appointments, we were able to book over 250,000 appointments between April 2020 and June 2021, when most of our competitors were falling by the wayside. A new world called for a new business model, and we were busy making Zoom babies. We saw our entire business model of the previous 15 years from a fresh perspective. But just when we thought we were out of the woods, the forest caught fire, beginning with the news that our beloved Dom had passed away. It was like a dagger to the heart, and quite frankly, I wasn't sure how we'd continue without him. Being the most optimistic and resilient person I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, Dom's own words have continued to push us forward. We had to accept our greatness, and we had to continue to do it, and so in Dom's legacy. I always say it was either going to get better or get worse, but it wasn't going to stay the same. This moment of time was evidence that the change was inevitable. On the topic of change, it's time to address our modern-day gold rush, ERC. Our newly formed partnership with Lynx opened the door to million-dollar earners. Hey Comer, Thomas, Dimitri, how's those checks cashing? Matt and Jason offered up many opportunities. We won't name them all, but suffice it to say, some were better than others. We needed to redirect from the redirect.
It's amazing to see our growth over the last 9 years. I mean, from starting out with 3 offices, you know, when I came on with the company 9 years ago, to see where we're at today, to the largest footprint of service and public employees around the country, and now partnering with Lynx in the last 2 years, and to see our agents now have a business owner avenue to the business with public employees and now business owners and individuals. I mean, we are seeing agents now, some making 6 figures per month, which has been, I mean, unbelievable over the last 9 years.
ERC paved the way to many incredible outcomes. Holly recruited hundreds of agents to her team and has spearheaded our expansion into the small business sector as EVP of Business Markets.
I've been able to bring on so many people through ERC because I have a great network. ERC was the employee retention credit, and a lot of business owners qualified for that. So I qualified a lot of businesses initially, and then they asked me how they could, you know, if there was an affiliates program or how they could get started. And so I recruited a lot of great people that brought in people. I mean, one of the sayings in our company is you're one recruit away from an explosion. And I think that's what happened for me is I didn't just have one recruit, but I had several recruits that were also really good at bringing on people. And also a lot of business owners that were good power partners came on board at the same time as well.
Definitely not in the garage in Vegas anymore. Now let's raise our glasses and a toast to Dom. What a ride. I know that was a lot to take in and even more reason to celebrate our wins and where we are together today. We got many million-dollar earners. We are way back up in our primary markets. Shout out to NLG's product boost, and we are pushing AF 2.0 to the forefront. We've learned a lot, stumbled, grown, transformed, and upgraded ourselves into this updated version of who we are. We've got all the right people in place. I'm talking about all of you. See you at the top.